Hi, this is Steve Garland, head wrestling coach at the University of Virginia, giving my weekly Virginia Wrestling video newsletter. And for this week, we're heading into Christmas, so it'll be brief. I just wanted to hit on a couple things. The first thing I want to do is recap our recent dual meet against Bloomsburg and our competition at Cleveland State. It was a very busy weekend for me, but a very productive weekend. I thought it was a great weekend for our program. So Friday, I drove a van full of guys up to what's called the Cleveland State Open. It's a huge open tournament, and when I mean huge. Tons of participants. Gosh, the teams that were there: Cornell, Northwestern, Michigan, Central Michigan, Kent State. I'm trying to think. I mean, Gardner. I mean, just team after team after team. Eastern Michigan. Just so many teams up there. Ohio State had guys represented there. I mean, just was a lot of guys, and all the different red shirts from all over the country. Buffalo had a team there. So it was. Why we do those things is because I've promised our kids that even if they're not the starter, we will do everything we can to develop them. The reason why we also do that is because even if you are a starter, sometimes guys need matches with the new qualifying system. And you have to play the game, so to speak. You have to have a certain amount of matches. You have to have win percentage, RPI, strength of schedule, quality wins. And so you have to take advantage of these opportunities to get that, to set you up and put you in a position to get to the national tournament, because you can't place unless you're there. And so for both those reasons, we took guys up there and chance to compete. Drove up there, 7.5, 8-hour drive with the snow. Praise God, we didn't hit snow until Cleveland, so we got there safe. Wrestled the tournament. It was one of the craziest open tournament experiences, if not the craziest I've ever seen. We got there at 5:45 a.m., worked out at 6, weigh-ins at 7, wrestling started at 9. At 8 o'clock at night, the wrestling was still going. So we had to pack up the van and drive to halfway to Bloomsburg and then finish off the trip. So we had to leave. That's why you saw medical defaults. Everybody's healthy and everybody's safe, but we actually literally had to leave the tournament because we had to get safely to Pennsylvania at a decent hour so that those guys would be well rested, and that way we'd be ready for the dual meet the next day. So everything went great. We got to Bloomsburg, woke up, worked out with the team, and wrestled the Bloomsburg match. I'll get to Bloomsburg in a second, but just to give you Cleveland's the background of Cleveland State, for the most part, it was really good. I mean, we started the day bad, and then we picked it up and just came back really strong all the way through. The highlights were Quinn Miller looked great, beat a bunch of great kids, advanced to the quarterfinals, and then had to catch a flight from Cleveland to Atlanta, so he had to leave the tournament. But I think he would have been in the semis and at the very least, and it was just great to see him really competing well and wrestling up to the talent level that he has. Brian Kennerly was also in the semis on the bottom side of the bracket at heavyweight, so Quinn Miller's a heavyweight. We had 2 heavyweights doing well. Kennerly decided to go up to heavyweight from 97. He's been wrestling that weight class and looked great. Again, gutted out some really big wins and some tough wins and did a great job. Fred Green at 157 made it to the semifinals. And looked great. He ended up losing in the semifinals to a nationally ranked guy, and then again we had to leave. But Jake Keating went 5-1. Sam Book went 4-1 or 5-1. Both of those guys looked awesome in the wrestlebacks. They looked rough in their losses, but then they came back and just rebounded and looked phenomenal. So it was just really good to just see those guys match after match after match, getting the competition they need, getting better, executing a lot of things we've been going over in the room, and just having fun competing. Those guys love to wrestle. So Jake Keating's a guy that I've talked about a lot before on video. I mean, nobody likes the Reckoning more than that guy. I mean, he is out there to wrestle. He would have kept going. There's an NCAA rule that says you have to stop, or else he would have kept going. After 6 matches in a day, you have to stop. That's a new NCAA rule as of this year. So he had to stop, or else he would have just kept going the whole night. So that was really cool to see. So on to Bloomsburg. Our team did really well at Bloomsburg. They looked really good. I'll rip through it fast. Louis Hayes, right off the bat, got a technical fall. Looked great. Jack Mueller wrestled a really tough kid. I think it's the toughest kid on their team. And got a major decision at 133, 141. Sam Martino, I believe, won 5-1 or something like that. But it could have been. I think he could have done more. Could have finished a couple different shots and probably blown it out. But really excited about the way he wrestled, because there's specific things we've been working on with him in the room that he did exactly right in the match. So as a coach, obviously that makes you really happy, and we're really happy for Sam to keep building on this. Hopefully this gives him momentum in the second half of the season. 49, Sam Krivas looked awesome, especially on his feet. He got a ton of takedowns and got a bonus point victory at 149. 157, unfortunately, Michael Murphy received a forfeit because one of the Bloomsburg wrestlers was medically disqualified before the match with a skin infection, and we felt terrible for their team. I felt terrible for their coaches. You never want to see that happen. And felt bad for Murph because Murph wanted the match. Obviously, he needs to compete too. So it was just kind of a strange circumstance there, and so but that's what happened. Bloomsburg had a guy ready, but he wasn't able to go by their team doc standards. So that was tough for them and tough for us. 165, Andrew Atkinson got bonus point victory and again looked really good. 174, Will Shaney dropped 16 points on his opponent. He got ridden in the third period, so that wasn't great, but for the most part looked phenomenal, especially in the first period. Take down the turn, just really racking up bonus points in bunches. 184, Michael Batista wrestled there for us, and he was outmatched. He didn't wrestle well. I mean, he's a lot tougher than what he showed. That score is not indicative of how tough we think Michael is and what he can do. He just... I think he showed some freshman mistakes there and ended up getting turned in the third period. That's why the score was so high. He kept getting turned for 4 and a third off one specific move that obviously he's got to work on. But we believe in Michael. We think he's an awesome kid, and he's just learning right now. So he's going to get a lot better. 197, J.A.L.O. It's the best I've seen him look all year. He was constantly shooting. I lost count of how many shots the kid took in the match. I think stall call should have went up a little faster, but I mean it was great for him to just see him fire like that. So that was great. And heavyweight, by far the best match I've seen Tyler Love wrestle. Complete match. He wrestled a really tough kid that was huge, kid that was going really hard, headbutts, clubs. Tyler's face was covered in blood, and Tyler just kept taking him down. Beautiful high crotch lift, sweep single, angle attack at the end to ice the match. Just awesome. So it was great, kind of a stamp to see his teammates all cheering for him at the end and everything. They were that into the match and pulling for him. And, and in the locker room afterwards, it was great just to kind of get together and recap the year and talk about what we're going to do over break and moving forward. For me, it's always a little bit depressing because as tired as I always am, I actually miss these guys when they're gone. And for me, I work so much that I kind of don't know what to do when guys aren't around. I kind of start to short circuit. So, I spent yesterday texting all these guys and telling them how much I loved them and proud of them and all that stuff. So I'm excited for them to get back on the 26th, 27th so we can start training again. Before I get into the break thing, I just wanted to something that's been on my heart that I want to make sure I get out to you guys. It's the end of the year, and as I was going through, my wife and I go through every year in our end of year giving, whether it be different ministries, the VAF, our wrestling club, different things that we support each and every year, I started thinking about us, you guys, myself, and Virginia Wrestling, our fundraising initiative. And there's a specific topic I wanted to cover with you. We want to have the best giving percentage, not maybe the best amount of money, but the best giving percentage of any sport here at the University of Virginia. The reason why, we want our new administration to understand clearly that wrestling people care and that wrestling people invested and they're going to give back to the Virginia Wrestling program. So for me, what I wanted to tell you is it's not the dollar amount that you give to the VAF, the Friends of Wrestling. It's honestly, that doesn't matter to me. They'll probably kill me for saying that. What I care about is that you actually give it all. $10, $15, $25, something that you can give if you're willing and able, that then registers you as a donor for Virginia Wrestling. Especially if you've wrestled here. I mean, specifically, you've experienced personally the impact that this program's had on your life. I'm urging you to give back whatever you can give, even a small amount, so that way, when they look at our percentages for the year, it doesn't say 20% of the former wrestlers gives. It says 40%, 50%. Basically, everybody that can is given back because of what this program's done for them, what this university's done for them. You can go on Virginia Athletics Foundation website and do it. I just gave my gift last week. Pretty simple. You went online, type in, register, and give your gift that way. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Jim Harshaw is our chief fundraiser for wrestling. Jim was a 3-time ACC champion, All-American here, former coach here. So if anybody gets it, it's him. And you can reach out to him. He'll probably kill me for this too. Or reach out to Jim Harshaw if you need more details on how to do that. Thank you guys for everything you do for us. Happy holidays to you. I know I'm certainly looking forward to a little bit of a break here, and then we'll see you back in January. We've got the Southern Scuffle, arguably the toughest tournament in the country, coming up in January, then Virginia Duels, and on from there. We'll be keeping you posted.